It was one of those nights when I had finally succumbed to sleep after hours of tossing and turning. My mind was a whirlwind of thoughts, but fatigue overcame me, and I found myself drifting into a peaceful slumber. The moonlight cast soft shadows in my room, and everything seemed so calm, so quiet. It was the middle of the night, around 2 a.m., when I was abruptly woken by the sound of my bedroom door creaking open. My heart skipped a beat, and for a moment, I thought I was dreaming. But the cool night air and the faint sound of someone breathing brought me back to reality. I opened my eyes, squinting into the dim light, but I couldn't make out anything clearly. I had no idea who it was. My first instinct was to reach for my phone on the nightstand, but I froze when I saw a silhouette standing by my bed. My breath caught in my throat, and panic started to rise, but then I heard a soft whisper. "It's me, it's Sarah." Confused and still groggy, I blinked several times, trying to process what was happening. Sarah, my best friend, was standing there in the middle of the night, looking disheveled and panicked. What in the world was going on? "What's wrong?" I whispered back, my voice shaky with disbelief. She seemed to be on edge, her eyes darting around the room as though she was afraid of being seen. "I didn't know where else to go," she said, her voice cracking. "I needed to talk to someone. I didn't know who else to turn to." I sat up in bed, my mind racing. Sarah had always been the calm, collected one among us, the one who never showed signs of distress. To see her so frantic, standing in the middle of my room at such an odd hour, sent a chill down my spine. "Sarah, what happened? What's going on?" I asked, trying to hide the fear that was bubbling inside me. She took a deep breath, and as she started to explain, her story sent a shiver down my spine. Earlier that evening, she had gotten into an argument with her parents, something trivial at first, but it escalated. She had been overwhelmed by the tension at home, feeling as if she couldn't escape her own thoughts. In a moment of desperation, she decided to leave her house and walk the streets, hoping that the cool night air would help calm her down. But it only made things worse. The silence of the night had amplified her emotions, and she had ended up outside my house, unsure of what to do next. "I just needed someone to talk to," she said, her voice barely a whisper now. "I didn't know where else to go." I pulled her into a hug, feeling the weight of her sorrow and confusion. It was an unexpected visit, but in that moment, I realized how important it was to be there for the people we care about, especially when they need us the most. We spent the rest of the night talking about everything and nothing at all. It wasn't the conversation I had expected to have at that hour, but it was one that brought us closer, even in the stillness of the night. And as the first light of dawn crept into the room, I knew that whatever the future held, we'd always have each other. Summary paragraph. In this emotional story, a female protagonist is unexpectedly awakened in the middle of the night by her best friend, Sarah, who has come to her room in a frantic state. Sarah reveals that she had been overwhelmed by an argument with her parents and needed someone to talk to. The visit, though shocking, leads to a deep and meaningful conversation between the two friends, strengthening their bond. The story highlights themes of friendship, trust, and being there for each other in times of emotional turmoil, even when the visit comes at the most unexpected hour. It was one of those nights when the world outside my window was completely still, the kind of night where everything seemed to be suspended in a quiet dream. I had spent hours tossing and turning in my bed, trying to quiet my mind after a long day. My thoughts wouldn't let me rest. From schoolwork to family issues, everything felt so overwhelming. But finally, exhaustion caught up with me, and my body surrendered to the sleep it so desperately craved. As I lay there, eyes closed, the cool air from the window brushed against my skin. The soft rustling of the leaves outside added to the tranquility of the night. It felt like the world was holding its breath. My room, dimly lit by the moonlight streaming in from the window, was like a small sanctuary of calm. I slowly drifted deeper into sleep, feeling myself letting go of the day's worries, my thoughts floating away like clouds. Suddenly, the peace was shattered by a faint sound, the creak of my bedroom door. My heart skipped a beat. I froze, my eyes snapping open, and my pulse quickened as I tried to make sense of the sound. Was I dreaming? Or had I actually heard something? The room seemed so still, so quiet, except for that one sound, which echoed through the silence. I glanced toward the door, but the shadows in the room made it hard to see clearly.